So on today, Joe Biden announced via Twitter that he is officially dropping out of the 2024 election for president. He's going to finish out his term, but he's done for as of now. And he's even endorsing Kamala Harris, that is. I am so tickled at black people and what they got to say about this. Girl, is y'all ready to talk about it? Let's juice.
Come on, Blazer.
It's a beat for me.
Wow, 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 for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we are.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Voodoo Doll TV, bake with a quick little jokes or whatever the case may be. And I'm not going to do a lot of talking because I'm just trying to tell y'all what's going on, right? So Joe Biden went on Twitter and was like, yeah, I'm dropping out the race. Yeah. He said, I'm dropping out. I'm old. No, he didn't say that. He just said, he gonna focus on him. And he not running in 2024. But he also said he's going to endorse Kamala Harris. Now, black people have been having a lot of mixed, responses to this. Some people are here for it. Some people are gathering their trucks and pearls, ready to stomp the yard. Other people are just like, oh my God, what is going on? And I was so interested in people's responses. I decided to make a quick little video or whatever to show y'all what some of these people are saying about this whole thing. Now, I want to say this. This sent shockwaves through America, not just Black America, but America, period, right? But I feel like the way that Black America feels about this is sad, it's funny, it's tickling, it's crazy, and it's all the things that you can come up with in one. Because my people, my Jody, we are something else. So what I did was I went in, I got a whole bunch of clips of people responding to this, and we're going to get into it. But before we get into that, I want to show you what Joe Biden took to Twitter and said. So this is just a portion of what Joe Biden wrote in his speech. There's an actual whole speech going on Twitter. I'll leave that down for y'all to see. But basically, what Joe Biden says is, my fellow Democrats, I have decided not to accept the nomination and to focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term. My very first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president. And it's been the best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee for our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this. So this is, like I said, only a portion of what he put in his letter. But ultimately, he quit. Yep, he quit, girl. He quit. He said, I quit. I'm going to finish out my little term or whatever the case may be. But come January or November or whatever, I'm out of here. And, the reactions have been insanitary. Do you hear me? Now, we're going to get into these reactions. And I am curious to what you guys think about this down at the bottom of the comments, girl. Because these people on TikTok, girl, is a mess. Do you understand me? And like I say, I'm just sitting back watching, eating my popcorn and, enjoying life. But ultimately, y'all, this is a time. Y'all get into these doggone comments and these videos and do me a favor. Drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all think. Don't be bashing each other. Let everybody have their say. Let everybody pick who they pick. Just respond and let me know what y'all think. All right, y'all. Get into these responses and I'm going to see y'all later. Bye.
Oh my gosh. Biden just dropped out from running from re-election. Baby, I had to pull over on the side of the road when I saw the post notification coming in. Now, the people had been saying he was going to be on his way out. I made a video the other day. The people didn't believe me in the comments. I said it's starting to look that way. And the fact that Nancy Pelosi and them, even we heard rumblings of Obama telling their close allies he doesn't think he could win. And the fact that people kept saying, not the ones that outright called for him to step out, but kept saying we're waiting on him to decide. The top Democratic leadership kept saying we're waiting on him to decide when the man told us how he felt, suggested they were pushing him out. And I've been getting text messages from the DNC all weekend from, when you, hold on, let me give a word. When you are subscribed to newsletters and that from Democratic campaigns and candidates and such, I've been getting text messages all week to ask, how would I feel, and I'm pretty sure everyone else has, how would I feel if Biden stepped out? How do I feel about Kamala being in? All the things. And so now we know that President Biden is done. He's not running. Now, I said this before, Democrats. Do not fight Kamala Harris's ascension. Black people, which is your base, will ride at dawn with Kamala Harris if she's at the top of the ticket now. Or we can sleep till noon if y'all play in that lady face, okay? So what we're not gonna do is just bypass and overstep the first African-American woman vice president, okay? We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that, okay? Okay? I'm telling you what I know. But how do y'all feel about him stepping out? I mean, oh, wow. 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 We're 4 months away, wow. We can still win this thing, though, because Kamala has the woman vote. She energizes the youth. African Americans will ride with her. I mean, the coalition can be built, but wow. I just feel like in my lifetime, I've just lived through so many historical political moments. I don't know if I'm supposed to be here for all these moments. Well, I guess the Lord is allowing me to be here, so I'm supposed to be here. But it just feels like a lot. But wow. How do y'all feel?
So, Joe Biden has dropped out of the presidential race, and Kamala Harris is his nominee. Honestly, don't really care. You know what I do care about, though? How much money I'm gonna make in the stock market on Monday and until November. Something about just trading during an election year just screams I'm wealthy. I love trading. I don't know. Whenever I hear major news events, and that's why I like options trading specifically, because I can make money whether the market goes up or down. So if it ever crashes, I'm up. If it goes up, I'm up. Obviously, you have to know what you're doing, but I'm looking forward to it.
President Biden, you must immediately pack your bags and return to the loft. We thank you for your service. Kamala, are you laughing? Is this a joke to you?
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Enough about coconut trees! Do you know that you have a possibility to win? Do you know that all of America is rooting for you? Do you know that?
You exist in the context of all in which you live and what
Stop it! I have never in my life yelled at a potential presidential candidate like this. When my mother yells at me like this, it's because she loves me. I am rooting for you. We are all rooting for you. Learn something from this. When you go to bed at night and lay there, you take responsibility for yourself. Because nobody is going to take responsibility for you. You've heard it all before, but you don't know where the hell I come from. You have no idea what the hell I've been through. I walked the runway one time in a suit that looked like it could be something that Jackie Onassis would wear. I did a photo shoot once as Michelle Obama. I have come very close to being in the White House. I wore a bathing suit on live television. I know what it's like to be under severe amounts of pressure. We need you to step up to the plate, Kamala, and be our presidential nominee and defeat Donald Trump.
Joseph Robinette Biden has officially dropped out of the 2024 presidential race. So what happens next? Yes, he says he supports and picks VP Kamala Harris to take over for him, but it's not that simple. The rules and process are complicated. So how does it actually work? The delegates who were previously pledged to Joe Biden after the primary are now essentially free agents. Rule 13J of the DNC reads that delegates elected to the National Convention pledged to a presidential candidate shall in good conscience reflect the sentiments of those who elected them. This essentially means that while Joe Biden is free to make a recommendation, they don't have to listen to him. They can pick whoever they want. So there's really two main ways that this can go. Option A, the entire Democratic Party can rally around Kamala, support her as the pick, and put on a united front at the National Convention and have the delegates choose her. Or option B, this would be like Wild Wild West territory. The Democrats could have a completely open and contested convention, which essentially would function as a mini primary. Contenders and people would be running around attempting to persuade delegates to put them at the top of the ticket, which some leaders like Nancy Pelosi have suggested is the way to go. Quick explanation of how the whole delegate thing works. There's around 4,500 delegates. 3,900 of those are pledged delegates, and 740 are superdelegates. In order to win, Kamala or whoever else on the first round would need to receive support from around 1,950 of those pledged delegates. Now, if she doesn't get this number and the convention is contested, they go into a second round, where then the superdelegates are able to vote. And she'll need to win a majority of all of the delegates, which would be over 2,200. So the work has already begun, and this next week is going to be crucial. Kamala and her team are making calls to the delegates, leaders, governors, and asking for their support. Now, as far as the money goes, the Biden-Harris ticket personally has raised over $90 million. And if she's the pick, then the money will go directly to her. But if she's not, then the money has to be returned to donors, or it may be transferred to his federal super PAC, which again, the legality of is iffy. She's also apparently raised over $5 million just in the hour following the announcement. The Democratic National Convention is set for August 19th in Chicago, and the DNC can change their rules at any time. Kamala Harris will also need to pick a VP. My guess and pick would be Senator Mark Kelly from Arizona. He was an astronaut, a Navy captain, and his wife is former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords. Now, this is all unprecedented. No sitting president has dropped out this close to November before. And the Republican Party and DJT will almost certainly file lawsuits and launch legal challenges no matter how this all shakes out.
So I see that Joe Biden has announced that he has dropped out of the presidential race and has endorsed Kamala Harris as the new Democratic candidate, right? And everybody's freaking out. Everybody's like, oh shit, the Republicans got this shit in the bag. But it just makes me wonder, who is Kamala gonna choose for her vice president? Okay? You remember when Joe Biden said vice president is a black job? There's only one person that comes to mind. Michelle Obama. 2 black bitches running the White House. We gonna get some shit done. We gonna get some shit done. Everybody's leaning in to the black vote at this point. Everybody's trying to appeal to the niggas. Give me 2 black bitches running some shit, and we gonna get some shit done. That's the only angle that y'all have to win this shit, Dems, okay? That's the only angle you have. Get Michelle Obama on that ballot as the vice president, and we got this one in the bag.
15 minutes ago, I posted that Joe Biden was dropping out of the election. He is now officially endorsing Kamala Harris for president. My fellow Democrats have decided not to accept the nomination, focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term. My very first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president. It's been the best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Shout out to Mama, for real. But I can't, because that meme's been going around. The only thing I can think about is stiletto pumps in the gut. Every AKA you know is about to become the most annoying person in the world.
Bullshit? A bullshit?
Hey, bro, come on now, dawg.
Ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
I'm tired of this. Fuck this shit.
Why? No, don't go nowhere.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
The presidential election is shaking. Historic. Joe Biden has officially dropped out of the 2024 presidential race. There's a lot to this story, and there's more to come out. But right now, let's talk about it. This is the day that we all anticipated, because Joe Biden has been losing his mind right in front of us for months now. Now, there was recently a presidential race, and he made a quote saying specifically that his vice president was Donald Trump. That's how much he's losing his mind. This is a full-blown dementia patient. And we're not trying to have ageism, not saying that older people can't do anything. But everybody know we've needed to take Joe Biden's keys for a while. Now. Now that makes Kamala Harris the new running mate for the Democratic Party. Now, of course, everything's bringing it back to this Simpsons episode. The Simpsons episode where it's called Bart to the Future, baby. And Lisa in the I Know class. That episode. Y'all, they're all telling that Donald Trump was running for president in these Simpsons episodes. And he ended up getting assassinated. And Lisa Simpson became president, okay? All the way down to the outfit. They've been bringing this up, and for it to go that smoothly in that timeline, crazy ridiculous, okay? It's one of those things where it's like, it couldn't have been written better, but it was written. Now, there's a lot of gifs and a lot of memes about people voting for Kamala Harris. But what kind of gives me pause is we don't know her. I need y'all to write down the comments, any comments that I post this on, and let me know, what are her policies? What kind of things is she going to get done? I know I can go Google them, but y'all let me know who have been keeping up with her, because we ain't seen her, we don't know her, and, you know, sorry to this man. If I saw him, I wouldn't know a thing. My thing about Kamala Harris is to be the president of us and connect to the people, meaning the black people. She would have had to do something for us, been deep in the community the whole time for me to say like, oh yeah, this is our girl. This is black people's girl, enough for us to go in and rally behind her. I don't know her. I don't know what she got going on. Now, let me tell y'all why I did this video so late. I was waiting for more information on exactly what happened with Joe Biden. But his brother, Frank, his younger brother, recently came out and made this statement. And it told me everything I needed to know, y'all. So Joe Biden's brother came out and said he's extremely proud of my brother. But he's also quoted to say, he was quoted to say this right here. Selfishly, I will have him back to enjoy whatever time we have left with him. I said, oh, Joe Biden, are you about to kick the bucket? Are you about to literally lose your life? Are we about to lose you, Joe? And I think we're about to lose Joe. For his brother to say that and for him to drop out the presidential election, it's given the doctor said, look, he's about to be fully gone mentally in a week and gone into the ancestral plane in about a couple months. This is an 80-something-year-old man. He's already lost the first whole family in a car accident. Everything that's going on has been withering away at his mind, his physical body. They got to literally drag him to the podium, poor Jill. And I feel like that he's at the end of his life. And his brother just told us everything we need to know. I don't even have to say allegedly, because he said whatever time we have left. Sir, you know something. Now, Donald Trump recently has come out and said that it's going to be easier for him to beat Kamala Harris than it ever was for him to beat Joe Biden, even with Joe losing his marbles. But Trump has had a lot of backlash lately for his running mate, J.D. Vance. They've been going in on his wife. His wife is a fully Indian brown lady, and they've been going in on her because they've been saying a lot of xenophobic things about her, about immigrants, and going in on her. And Donald Trump is supposed to be somebody that's very immigrant policy based. But he has an immigrant wife. His running mate has an immigrant wife. It's given you don't want immigrants in the country, but all y'all do is lay and marry Indians and immigrants, okay? So his own people got something to say, but he specifically said he thinks he's going to wipe the floor with Kamala Harris. This is a good picture of them, so y'all can see a good picture of them. To me, they're calling this lady a dark Indian. I lived in Canada. I've seen darker, but still, it goes to show what the next, the people might look like. This, if y'all didn't know, this is J.D. Vance. This is going to be allegedly Donald Trump's vice president running mate. Like, this is who it's going to be. So y'all need to get a good look at everybody. Now, who I don't know is Kamala's running mate, okay? Now, I know she got a white husband. He'll be the first man, so it's not going to be a black man in office. It's going to be her husband, Doug. He's a white man. Don't know too much about her or Doug. But y'all tell me who's Kamala running with. I wonder if it's somebody black. I wonder if it's a black man. I have so many questions. We're going to continue while the story unfolds in front of us.
I'm on my way to work, but I know I did not just see what I think I had seen on the internet. President Biden dropped out of the election. Like, were we surprised? Probably not. But also that he's going to back Kamala. I don't want to diss her, and I don't want to say anything negative in regards to her. Y'all, in the midst of a known bigoted white man, a black woman, there is one thing that those far-right people and men in America in general don't like more than they don't like the liberals. It's a black woman, and it's an educated black woman, and it's a black woman that could actually hold her own against them. They fear that more than they fear anything else, is by giving us some power. Don't let Obama fool you. They was not happy. Don't let him fool you. I'm an Obama supporter, but Kamala, and then and it's not that I don't think that she's capable. It's not that I don't think she's educated enough. It's like, does she have America's support? Does she have our community's support? Would she be reading them people for filth? I cannot wait for that debate against her and Trump. That is going to be juicy. If y'all have never watched politics, if y'all don't get into politics, just watch it whenever they're having a debate or a debacle. That is like the Real Housewives. It is so good. It is so dramatic. It is so juicy. They are petty LaBelle, petty Pendergrass, okay? Like, it's crazy. I'm going to work, y'all. I'll keep y'all updated.
Senator Joseph Biden dropped out of the hunt today, saying the disclosures about his plagiarism in law school and his exaggerations about his academic record made it impossible for him to continue.
I do it with incredible reluctance, and it makes me angry. I'm angry with myself for having been put myself in the position of having to make this choice.
The Delaware Democrat is the second candidate to be forced from the race by questions of character and integrity.
What is democracy? Black men are being killed in the street.
She's not going to do anything that's going to benefit black people. And who has? And the other guy is? Come on, people. Use your brains. If you have one candidate and another candidate, and one of them is blatantly, outright, flat out discriminatory and racist and disgusting and has done egregious, disgusting things. Let's be real here. A lot of times and most times, we have to choose between the lesser evil. Would you rather get slapped or ran over by a semi-truck? You get what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather take a couple hits to the chin than get smacked by a semi-truck. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not telling you who to choose or which party to vote for. All I'm saying is, when you go and say, oh, well, this person isn't going to do anything for us either, it doesn't make you look smarter. I think we should all be past the point now of, like, the such thing of, like, oh, you guys are sheep. You need to wake up. Why do you think it's that, like, it's not hard to see what you're trying to explain? Y'all be thinking, and I'm not saying who I'm voting for when it comes time to vote. However, what I will say is, I went to an HBCU. I went to Clark Atlanta University. I'm black. If I go to that ballot and I see a person that went to an HBCU and is black, and I have to choose between two people that y'all say aren't good people overall, I'm going to choose the one that I relate to most. That's all I'm saying. I'm not choosing the one that I know for a fact don't like me strictly off of my skin color, or I know for a fact wouldn't fool me or wouldn't care about me off my skin color. I'm going to bet on, if I'm going to bet on anybody, I'm going to bet on the person that looks more like me, that comes from a walk of life similar to mine, HBCU culture, college. You get what I'm saying? Not rocket science. It's not hard to wrap your brain around.
America is going to end up with the reality of her first female president without a single ballot being cast for her. She will come in without hands, and the Lord says that Obama is going to be right there with her. And we will see Obama in the White House again, no matter who says that it can't happen. And God says that Obama will be controlling Kamala Harris from day one, because she is being used as a cat's paw to lay all the groundwork for the New World Order, and then she will be removed herself. So I brought this in, I think it was last year. The Lord says that you that go into captivity, or you that takes another into captivity, you yourself will be taken into captivity. And that is it. Whatever she participates in with Joe Biden to get him removed, to get him to fall out of office, it will be done to her as well, and fatally. So I spoke about the New World Order people, how none of them are actually loyal to the United States. They don't have American loyalties, and this is how they're already a step ahead of the game of the American people, who are full of patriotism, patriotic pride, patriotic myopia, meaning that they're so blind they can't see beyond their party, the shortcomings of their party. Politics is a poison in this country, and that is why I have always said that despite the types of prophecies that God gives me, I refuse to become defiled by it. Many of you are defiled by it, and this is why the Lord keeps up a wall of separation between yourselves and myself. What I'm carrying is of God. Should it become corrupted by your endless emails that you keep sending me and things like that, then I will also be corrupt and begin to become a speculator and a spectator and a guesser and a politics and prophecy expert, as are many out there. And then I will become a bent and broken tool in God's hand, and he would be forced to set aside something that he worked on for 11 years when you didn't know that I existed. And why should he do that? And why should I allow that to be done? I shall not. He who leads to captivity will himself be led into captivity. As they do, these people have no love for their countries.
We had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit black children, black families, black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No, because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Man, if you love black people, if you love black women, you would not want Kamala Harris to stand for president of the United States, you know. If you love black women and support black women, you wouldn't want Kamala Harris to serve as president of the United States. I don't call that black love, to wish that on a black woman. Having seen the black man gone ahead and do president before you, I wouldn't wish that on a black woman. I love black women too much for that. Because what? Looking at some of them things, some of them statistics, what the presidency, I would like to believe, turned Barack Obama into. I would like to believe he was not what he became. I want to have higher thoughts of him than that. Maybe he was what he became all along. I don't know. But I would like to believe as the presidency turned him into that. Rather than his blackness, turning the presidency into something transformative, salvific, praiseworthy. The presidency turned him into another Babylonian who under his reign did a tremendous amount of damage to Africa. Destabilization of Africa all over the place. Spreading of AFRICOM, US bases throughout the region. Murdering Gaddafi because he had wanted to unify Africa and create the gold dinar currency, gold-backed currency. All kind of destabilization efforts through and through the region. All done on his watch, right? And we would like to believe, if you want to think highly of him, you would like to believe that his white power used him as the black face so that Africans could think they're working with an African and and make deals. You would like to believe and think higher of him. Nevertheless, whether it made him who he became, whether he became that, whether he was just used for that, I love black women too much to have them do that. Now, if she wanted to do that, she's free to do that, you know. It's a free country. It's a free world. The Lord God Almighty creates you with free will. So if you freely want to serve Babylon, you freely can, you know. But I don't wish it upon nobody. I don't celebrate and hooray, hooray, because another one of we who were brought here in captivity. Beside that, we
want to embrace Babylonian lifestyle and culture and ideas, and so I hope the party pass her over. I don't think it's something they want to do.
Who wants to be black? I don't understand that. I really just can't comprehend it.
So, Democrats, how do you feel? Our candidate has now stepped down. I mean, y'all was working hard in cahoots with the Republicans. Like, Joe Biden is unfit for office. He needs to step down immediately. His cognitive decline is hurting the party. Well, he did. And now he's endorsed a black woman, his vice president, Kamala Harris. And now I'm starting to see stuff on the internet about her ability to run the administration. There's nothing wrong with Kamala Harris. To me, I think she's a strong candidate, actually. The only thing she needs is the backing of her party. It's simple. We already know that black people in the Black Caucus is going to be in support of Kamala Harris. However, there is opposition as to her gender, not only her gender, but her race. So we get rid of Joe Biden and we get a strong candidate in there that meets the expectations that can actually lead this administration to the next level. But now we have apprehension about her ability to be able to run the administration because she's a woman and she's black.
Wait. So hold up. So Kamala Harris ain't black? This woman right here. Her right here. She's not black? I'm lost and confused, dummy, because I got so many black females on my post talking about this right here, saying stuff like this. Child, you lost me, claiming this lady was black, stuff like that, right? And a bunch more. Oh, this lady's not this. Like, where did I get lost at? I could have sworn when she got sworn in as the vice president, they said that this was the first African-American black vice president, woman vice president. That's what was stated, right? Or am I lost? Wasn't she just on BET as the African-American black female vice president?
All right. Up top.
Wasn't she just at the Team USA practice as the female black African-American vice president?
Becoming the first Indian American woman to be nominated as a vice presidential candidate in America.
I stand before you as the first candidate for Vice President of the United States of South Asian descent. When my mother, Shamala, stepped off the plane in California at 19 years old, she didn't have much in the way of belongings, but she carried with her lessons from back home. Growing up, my mother would take my sister, Maya, and me back to what was then called Madras, because she wanted us to understand where she had come from.
This whole time Biden been in office, she's been called and stated as the black female vice president, African-American female vice president. That's what they've been calling her. That's what they've been saying she is. So, y'all mean to tell me she was black when she got sworn in to be VP, vice president, all of that stuff. Everything was okay. She got sworn in. It's all good for them to call her black and all of that. Now that she's in the conversation to become president, all the black women are starting to reject her?
To all the negative people regarding Kamala Harris being voted for president, shut the fuck up, okay? Because at this point, it's not even about whether she can do the job or not, or however you may feel. We're fighting for democracy, for women's right to stop Project 25. If you're a woman, I don't care what color you are, you need to be on Kamala's side and vote for her. If you're not a racist person, you need to be on Kamala's side. Point blank, I had someone tell me that I'm only voting for her because she's a black woman and y'all gonna stick together. First of all, it's not because she's a black woman. I'm voting for her for all women. White, black, brown, yellow, green, whatever. And even if it wasn't her at the top of the ticket, I would be voting for whoever is at the top of that ticket, whether it's a man or a woman, black or white.
Okay, so Joe Biden just endorsed Kamala Harris to be the next Democratic nominee for this upcoming election. It does not mean it's set in stone, but it is him giving the world his stamp of approval, saying, you know what, I trust her, she's dope. He really didn't have a choice. She's not my first pick. Are her politics perfect? No, but she's the best we have right now, okay? So we ride for her, okay? And a black woman is running for president. That's freaking dope. I am, however, preparing myself for not only the racism, misogyny, sexism, all of the that I'm going to see on not only this app, not only all of the apps, but on national news. on national television? It's...
Remember when you asked me why I didn't vote for Kamala Harris and how could I be so anti-black woman? Let me show you.
She put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you. So while you were standing in line in your chucks and pearls, thinking that she was a black woman because she went to all the right schools, she pledged to right people because everybody knows that the black vote is the unknown variant. That means that they truly show up for what it is that they support. And the black community embraced and supported Kamala. When Kamala got in office, she told y'all that she wasn't black, and she identified as otherwise after she had utilized your educational system, your support, your fraternities, your sororities. And she turned around and gave you her ass to kiss. Y'all gonna vote for her again? Inquiring minds want to know.
Let me make sure my math is mathing. Your grandkids are biracial, so you're expert on black. Baby, what the fuck color are Jamaicans? I didn't say she was African American. I said she was black. There's a difference. Who the said she was African American? This lets me know that y'all think all black people are the same. All of us in the diaspora are the same. You can be black and not African American. You can be black and from the UK. You can be black and from Canada. You can be black and from Thailand. That's all black, baby. And last time I checked, Jamaicans, baby, look like me. We're black. They're Jamaican. Their color didn't change.
See y'all cutting up already. Talking about some, you say it's Jover. I say it's just Cummins. Here, give me your phone. It's too early for this.
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris.
Becoming the first Indian American woman to be nominated as a vice presidential candidate in America.
Yo, this ain't funny, but it's funny, yo. Listen. So, you know how we doing Black History Month. We start talking about black people who inspired the black communities and stuff like that, right? So we start mentioning, you know, the usuals. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Frederick Douglass, George Washington Carver, Harriet Tubman, you know, all those good people. And we start going to the modern day, you know what I'm saying? I mentioned Kobe, you know what I mean? He was a big influence on me. Then they start mentioning Sierra and Russell because they do shit for the community. Beyonce, she do stuff for the community. And then they had the nerve to mention Kamala Harris, whatever her name is. Like, what? Do y'all know her body count for the black people in that community in California and what she done did? Are y'all gonna really mention her with the names of those people? Like, all y'all see is a black woman, vice president. Y'all see that on TV and y'all easily influenced. She is not even on their level. She done damage to us.
I would just like to remind everyone that we can critique Kamala Harris without being misogynistic or racist. It is possible. She has done terrible things policy-wise, so we can absolutely critique her for many reasons that have nothing to do with her identities. Please hold some nuance and some sophistication as we engage in this conversation. Thank you so much.
Well,
Guess it's time for Big Sister General.
Yeah. What are we gonna do? Like, I know y'all have seen the news. I just saw it personally. I just saw it, and who we voting for? Because at this point, like, it's really about us rallying together and coming together like we did after 9/11. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, like, this is like, I can't even get my thoughts together, y'all. Like, y'all, Joe Biden dropped out of running to be president, endorsing Kamala Harris. So really, this is like racist versus a black woman. Now, black women, y'all know how we do. So, else on the bus, go round and round.
Kamala Harris is going to be used as an imposter. She's going to be used as a pawn in order to deceive black people. A lot of black people was already, it's the perfect trick. A lot of black people wasn't really going to vote for Joe Biden. But with Kamala Harris running in his position, in place of him, it's going to have a lot of black people come together and say, yo, we need to vote for her, we got to stand behind her, this, that, and the third. Not knowing she don't even give a damn about the black community. And why this case hit me so hard, because I was in this person's shoes. I was falsely accused for a crime I didn't commit at 18 years old, looking at 20 years of my life gone, thrown away, straight out of high school, just walked across the stage. Police come knock on my door, accusing me for a crime that I didn't commit. That was life-changing. And Kamala Harris had evidence to prove the innocence of a black man and didn't want to present it. She wanted that man to go down for something he didn't do. And the only reason he ended up getting out of the situation because the courts decided on that. She would have let him go down having the evidence to prove his innocence. She's not a good person. She's not really for the black people, and the people saying it, she's not even black. You know, I see just like the white people going to see it. Her skin tone. You could be Indian, you could be whatever, but you dark shaded, a darker brown, they're going to see you as black. But she will get white votes, being for the fact that she probably won't get all of them, but she will get a lot of them over Trump because she's still standing for the same things that Biden stands for. So you already know, man. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts though, but I believe she is going to be used to deceive a lot of black people, and they're already coming together saying, let's stand up, we got to stand behind Kamala Harris. We got to get her in office. And like I always say, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Trump, all of them, it's just a way to divide us more, have us fighting, arguing amongst one another, when in reality, at the end of the day, the same thing is going to happen. The rich are going to get richer, the poor are going to get poorer, and the laws is made to push everybody in the middle. So you already know, man. Have a great day.
Baby, y'all are worried about men and what they have to say about Kamala Harris running. But what I'm seeing is the black women in the comments. Nothing scares me more than a black woman who doesn't like another black woman. The things that a lot of you are just constantly spewing and repeating, and you have no type of facts and behind it, is absolutely crazy. These are also the same black women I've been seeing disagreeing with the white German lady about the black woman and black family when she doesn't know anything about the black woman or the black family. Some of y'all scare me. You really do. There's no sisterhood within us because a lot of y'all are worse than the men. All skin folks are your kin folks, and a lot of y'all women are coons. I don't know if some of the videos I'm seeing on here, I don't know if it's for engagement purposes or if you feel like, all engagement, regardless of good or bad, just makes you money. But some of y'all are scaring me. I'm not afraid of the white folks. I'm not afraid of the black men. It's us I'm afraid of with the way that y'all are on here dogging out Kamala Harris. Straight out in the open on social media.
Listen, Kamala Harris, not my choice. She has horrific politics when it comes to the criminal system. But I fear if we don't get a woman president soon, The girlies are gonna backslide. They wanna be stay-at-home wives, stay-at-home girlfriends, stay-at-home situationships. What happened to girl bossing? What happened to women only got the right to have credit cards in the past couple decades? And you need to have a job to support yourself and to ensure that you're not taken advantage of financially. Do you need to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company? No. But start a floral shop, be a public interest lawyer, invent something. Kamala, we need you now more than ever.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
To see what can be, unburdened by what has been.
And you got Queenla Imhoff in there. You know who Imhoff is?
No.
Yes, you do.
Who?
Mrs. Imhoff, Vice President of the United States, who goes by her maiden name,
Miss Kamala?
Kamala Harris. She's got 2 Jewish children she adopted. She married a Jewish husband who's got a interesting.
I'm scared to talk about Kamala Harris. I'll let you have that one.
No, she's a witch, and she is a corrupt witch. She's been corrupt her whole life, and she f***ed her way to the top.
Oh, Lord.
They used to detail this witch in the LA Times with her escapades. She damn near everybody trying to get up. She used to be a frat hoe when she was at Howard. And she ain't black. You know,
I ain't got nothing to do with this, Miss Harris.
Nah, I mean, well, don't. But she's
I don't know. I'm just listening.
Well, here's the thing. I actually met her father in Jamaica. I was the guest, said at the governor.
Well, guess what? They're trying to push me out of the race. Well, let me say this as clearly as I can. I'm staying in the race. I'll beat Donald Trump. I will beat him again in 2020.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.